The starter replacing Joe Flacco, who had the hip issue. And that strong finish was good enough for the Ravens to capture their first AFC North crown since 2012. And now Jackson's a known commodity. He's the unquestioned starter, and with increased expectations and pressure on the former Heisman Trophy winner. Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Zach Cunningham rolling in to get the sack. He probably feels like he cannot get a break. He was sacked 7 times last week. And here we go again in the first quarter.
And we always talk about the internal clock of a quarterback in the pocket and how he has to have a real keen sense of it in order to get rid of the football. After being sacked 7 times last week, that clock has been sped up.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. Being chased out left. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Whitney merciless, able to record his 5th sack of the season.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at the 20. Now a first-time Pro Bowler from a year ago, Lamar Miller. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd down, it's Miller. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Now it's Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Jordan in there for the sack, and that is now 21 for him on the year. Wow, what a season. Here's Brian Anger now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. We'll call that a 49-yard punt, but a net of just 39 following the 10-yard return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. This time Jackson will throw it. That'll be taken in there by Miles Boykin. A gain there of 21 yards.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Buying time to his left. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
Let's go now. Go to base. Here we go, D.
They run with Ezekiel Elliott, last year's NFL rushing leader. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
It's a gain of 9 yards, and that'll make it 2nd and short. To throw again on 2nd down, Jackson.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay. Yeah. I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
Well, you know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's 2 different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. To throw is Watson. Screenplay, Johnson. A good job defensively to hold that to 4 yards, and now it's 3rd down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed, but all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
From the gun on 3rd, Watson. And he finds Stills, complete. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens' 27-yard line.
A gain of 18 on the play.
He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Miller. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, people say bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Here's Watson. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens' 12-yard line. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the second quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
Watson in the offense going to come up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Watson with a give to Miller. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. From the gun, here's Watson. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, and he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Back to throw, Watson. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
The kick by Fairbairn is good. No one attempted or made more field goals than Fairbairn last year. He was 37 of 42.
And they were grateful for every one of those that put 3 points on the board. But I'll guarantee you, Bill O'Brien, the head coach, is thinking to himself, we need to use him a lot less in 2019. Let's make sure we score some more touchdowns.
Fairbairn now, following the made field goal, he'll send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked.
There he goes, right side. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Ravens are able to show off their quick strike ability. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 11. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans. Third and long, it's Watson, and he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Cameron Jordan in there for sack number 22 on the year. And, folks, that's just a half sack shy now of Michael Strahan's record of 22.5 set in 2001. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Now Not a big deal on that one. Just your everyday 67-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. A good pickup there, a 22. Nice big gain there from Marquise Brown, first-round pick out of Oklahoma. Of course, his cousin knows a thing or two about big catches in the NFL. That's Antonio Brown. And now Hollywood hoping to carry on the family tradition of solid production at the wide receiver position. Jackson and the offense come up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ball game. Dancing to his left. That one complete to Elliott. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Call it a pickup of 7, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
It is hard in zone coverage to stop a curl route because when they see it, they just try and find the open spot and sit down.
Yeah, we always talk about finding the soft spot in the zone. What's the key to doing that? How do you do it?
You have to read what the coverage is. Is it 2 deep? Is it 3 deep? Because then you know where the linebackers are going to.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens.
Mike, 55. Check, 55. Mike. Drop deep, drop deep. Mike, go.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Gary and Conley. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 32-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. A shotgun snap for Watson. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10.
Hey, we got 4 down. 54.
Out of the gun, Watson. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. Trying to get it that time to Stills.
You're trailing. You're trying to get points late in half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Steps away to his left. The connection made. It's Graham. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Jimmy Graham, as the first half is winding down, as the Ravens push further out in front.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strike ability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one now.
Here's Watson. He's going to float this one deep right side. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Anthony Averett picks it. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is a really, I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
Mike 48, Mike 48.
Now a first down throw, Watson. It's complete to Hopkins. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Give him 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs. So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 right at the 40. Watson, and that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Defensively, that's Earl Thomas, the all-pro safety, knocking it free. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
Get ready.
Throwing again is Watson. It's complete. Stills. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They looked like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now it's Miller. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. Patrick Owasor just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans. Here's Watson throwing on 3rd and long. That's going to be caught. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
1st and goal, Houston.
They come out here in the eye. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll try to punch it in with Miller. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Ja'Kai Polite able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. Watson now to throw, and that throw intercepted. It's Chris Harris, the Pro Bowl corner, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
He's still fighting forward. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. 16 yards on that one at a Raven first.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Now this time he'll look to throw. He's going deep for Brown. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown, 77 yards as the Ravens push further out in front. Tucker with the extra point, and they open the lead up now to 25.
Texans 3. Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because his confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Motion.
Now Watson throwing again. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Get in the weight room. Get in the weight room.
Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 14 yards that time, and a first down on the keeper. It'll be first and goal when we come back. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Quit talking about it and bring it.
And now on the pitch, the ball's loose. And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Ravens have used the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
The Texans take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. So the big play gets him across midfield now for first and 10. Now Watson, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Michael Pierce, in all of his 340-pound glory, gets the sack. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Watson going to give this one to Miller. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. Nothing there, no gain, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 15. The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This will be 3rd and 15. To throw is Watson. From the gun, he'll throw. It's complete to Fuller. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up 4th. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. They'll run for it. Hyde. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Carlos Hyde. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Texans cut into that lead. Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. And he gets it to go to make this a 35-10 score now.
Ravens 35, Texans 10.
So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. Oh, the Texans may have recovered. They did recover. So the onside kick is recovered. And, you know, I always thought, Charles, as someone who didn't play these positions, that going over the middle as a receiver or trying to recover an onside kick, those are 2 very tough things to do.
Takes a lot of fortitude to put yourself in that position, but you have to do it in order to help your team win. Unable to recover it, it costs them. The kicking team gets the football here. Now it's Watson. Blitz coming, and down he goes. This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Back to throw. Watson. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
29 is Mike. Mike 29. You. 9 go.
They will indeed snap it to Watson. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And that throw intercepted. It's Chris Harris, the Pro Bowl corner. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. On fourth down, that turned out like a punt. Maybe he was better defensively there just to knock it down.
And you know they go over those situations. All right, fourth down, where's the ball? Where would we get the ball? But instinct takes over, and when it's in the air, they just go and get it. So it's hard to get on him for intercepting it, but the smart play would have been what you suggested. Knock it down and take over in a deeper position.
And an alley to run. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down.
All right, I don't want to get too poetic here where they talk about, the eyes being the windows of the soul. You know what else the eyes do? They see the open spaces on a field, and those eyes carry your legs to those spots. And that's what happened on that play. He saw an opening and went and got it.
Well, he really hasn't ran the ball all game. Fourth quarter here, need a big play, able to pick it up. So whatever the eyes saw and created, it worked.
At the 28-yard line.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Again, it's Elliott. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option.
I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter, maybe you do start to watch. Is the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. On 2nd down now, it's Elliott. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. For Zeke, what a first 3 years he's had in the NFL. Last year, his second rushing title, 1,434 yards. Not as many as 1,631 that he had as a rookie, but still his yards per game average was the best in the National Football. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Whitney Merciless. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Here's Sam Cook now as he'll punt it away for the second time. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Texans are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. To throw is Watson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that throw intercepted. It's Chris Harris, the Pro Bowl corner. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week.
And that's caught inside the 30. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And when you break it down, this was just a thoroughly dominating performance.
And I truly thought that we'd have a tight game coming into this one. I think you felt the same way.
Yeah.